everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another car review, and today we're back in a 2017 ZL1. Now I've driven a 2017 ZL1 already, and that one had 621 horsepower and 662 pound-feet of torque. That one was pretty much full bolt-on. It did have a cam and of course a pulley. This one though is a little bit different. It has similar mods, but the supercharger is an Edelbrock 2650, which means that this one makes quite a bit more horsepower. Get to the turn here. Now of course we have the flappy pedal gearbox, which is amazing. And the turn-in is also phenomenal. These seats are also great, and it is heated and cooled as well. Holy moly! That was like... I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to collect myself here. That was freaking crazy. It's like teleporting, man. My brain was all the way back there and the car was already at the corner. This is nuts. My God, I have never experienced anything like this. This is freaking nuts. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Now let's calm it down here. Now, let's get to the power level. I told you that I've never experienced something like this before. The owner set out with a mission, and the mission was accomplished. This car made 1,003 wheel horsepower. Wheel horsepower. This is the first car ever that I've driven that is making 1,000 wheel, and it is beyond imagination. I mean, that previous ZL1 was fast. This one takes it to the next level. As you can hear, it does have a little bit of a cam in it as well, but drivability is amazing. It's stock. Now right now I'm in the sport mode. Now I can put it back down in touring, and it'll smooth things out a little bit so I can talk a little bit better, and also it won't be as jarring as well. Now this car also has a Borla exhaust, which explains the loudness to it. I was kind of in wrong gear for that, but that's okay. Now, of course, this car has a 6.2 liter V8, the same V8 that you would find in the Z06. Stock 650 horsepower, 650 torque. This doubled that. And to put everything kind of in perspective, this car is making more power, more horsepower at least, than a Bugatti Veyron when it came out. And that is kind of crazy because you have to think that this car is about the same weight, I think a little lighter. It's rear-wheel drive, and it is a Camaro. A Camaro, and you see my hand? It's kind of shaking. It's a Camaro that's making this amount of freaking power. Nuts. Because the cool thing about this car is like, okay, you're driving at a nice and decent speed here. You know, nothing to really worry about. Wow. This experience is something that I'll probably not be able to replicate in quite some time. Man, this is crazy stuff. And it kind of makes you think, okay, now there's people that said when the Demon came out, that is too much horsepower for the street, right? Way too much horsepower. You shouldn't have that amount of power. This is quite a bit faster than a Demon from a roll. I can tell you that right now. From a dig, On this setup, it's gonna just blow the tires, so we're not gonna even bother with that. But from a roll, it would destroy a Demon hands down. So this is way more power. So people that are against the Demon, they're gonna be definitely against this. And for me, it's kind of wishy-washy, right? Because power is fun. Power is a lot of fun. But it's also dangerous if you don't know what you're doing and you don't respect it. And this car is one of those cars that you're gonna have to be on deck constantly when you put that foot down to the floor. You have to be cautious about what it's going to do, because that rear end, it's getting light. It's getting real light. The previous ZL1 that I drove got light in the back. This one, it's that kind of on steroids right now, and with way more acceleration. I mean, it puts you in your seat. Now, eventually you're gonna run into slower traffic, and that is one thing that you have to be cautious about too, because this car teleports you. You stab it, you're 4 or 5 car lengths ahead while your brain is still lingering way back there. It is such a weird sensation and such a thing that you have so much respect for. You need to have respect for, because stuff will go wrong with this amount of horsepower so quickly. But it's also so happy to just drive at normal speeds, and that just tells you that you get a 1,000 wheel horsepower car, and then it is still so nice and docile until you're asking for it not to be. Wow. I think if you have to explain what this feels like, we're talking about taking off in a jet, right? When you're sitting on a tarmac and he accelerates and puts the power up to lift off. That's what it feels like. But you get pushed in your seat and ever harder. But this is that on steroids, because you're in control of it all. You're doing it, and it's making you feel kind of out of control, which is fun and not fun at the same time. Does this have too much power for the streets? Well, if you're gonna take off, absolutely, it does, because it doesn't have the tire for it. But everything after that, for a car head that likes speed, and of course, this also has the brakes to support that speed. It'll slow down in a freaking hurry. It's gonna roll off the line and then stab it. God, and you just feel that body go, ooh, where's the power, where's the power? Where's it gonna go, left or right? Oh goodness. And this transmission is just so good. And that's probably part of the reason why this feels so nice. It's so just crazy, because it shifts so quickly. Conventional automatic, I still cannot get over the fact that this is a conventional torque converter automatic, and it shifts like a freaking DSG does. But anyway, so the engine, stock, factory stock internals, except for the cab, and it's staying together. And it could actually do more if you wanted to. But do you really want more horsepower? I shouldn't say that, because you probably do. As soon as you drive this car daily, personally, I can't see it, but this will probably turn to be mundane. It will be like, oh, well, it's just 1,000 wheel horsepower or whatever, you know, I'm ready for the next big step, like 1,500 or something like that. I can't fathom any of that stuff at all. Now, it's a kind of a funny story with this car and the previous high horsepower cars that I've had on the channel. The first real high horsepower car that I drove, other than the CTS-V, was the Hellcat. That was the #1 car for a while. Then Junior came along and he let me drive his Mustang, which made more power and was faster than the Hellcat. Then Tyrion came back, who owned that Hellcat, and said, hey, I have a ZL1 now that is modified. You want to drive that? And I said, sure, it's going to be freaking awesome. So I drove that car, and that took over the #1 spot. It's been like, okay, Tyrion, I'm going to show you up with this Mustang. And then Tyrion goes, nah, I got the ZL1 over here. Take over the top spot again. And then Junior was like, nah, man, I just got a ZL1 as well, which I actually mentioned in that review for that previous ZL1. And we're just going to have 1,000 wheel horsepower. There you go. It is hilarious. That's the stuff I love, you know, and it's like two people almost in the dead heat of being the king of the castle, the king of horsepower on my YouTube channel. And then you go partial throttle, and it accelerates like my VW does. Oh my. And I think the cool thing is that we've been playing and the intake temperatures are under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think cooling on this is pretty much solid. Another thing, if it isn't, it does have a meth kit, so you could cool it down that way as well. And of course, as everyone knows, cooler air gives you more power. And I think if I have to give this a conclusion, I just teleported from that light array over here. Oh my goodness, man, this car is so much fun. Junior, thank you so much for letting me review 1,000 wheel horsepower. This is gonna go down in history as one of the best car experiences that I've ever had in my life. Back. I'm gonna keep it. I don't want it. And with that final acceleration run, you guys take care. I'll see you on the flip side. Ooh, it starts up like with a little bit of that's that cam.
It is. It's
very nice. Oh God, that smell though.
Oh yeah, and there's the content on the side, so it tells you E85 on the far left. It's at 52, so E52.
So how does the power come on? Yeah, it's the supercharged, so probably next instant.
It's instant. You'll feel it. You'll know it.
Stabbing it a little bit. Yeah. That's me not even like, I'm kind of like trying to gauge what it's going to do. And it's like, okay, I want to go. Oh, okay, he's not getting on it completely. Well, that's something that you don't see every day. Alrighty. Bet if you have Miata, you would fit under there.
Yeah, probably.
Don't give people any ideas. Do not do that. Do not do that.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, oh my God, man, this is crazy.
I didn't stop talking for quite some time.
It's hard to do a review like this, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it wants to go.
It wants to go so much. Oh, goodness. Oh, it sounds so nice, though. Oh, that cam though, how this old school like a solid, man, solid.